So today we are at the stunning Age Clinic.
Stunning.
Thank you so much for having us. So you are Dr. Maysa. We would love to have an introduction as to why we're here and what Age Clinic is and who you are. So give us some intel.
So welcome to Age Clinic, and I'm happy being with you today. I'm Dr. Maysa Al-Falah. I'm a consultant dermatology based in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. I completed the major of my training in Saudi Arabia before I moved to Canada to pursue my fellowship training at McGill University, Montreal. My practice is mainly focused in two parts, the general dermatology and aesthetic anti-aging medicine. I'm so happy to be part of your podcast today to share tips and tricks and insights about how to achieve healthy and beautiful skin, and of course to highlight some advances in aesthetic medicine in Saudi Arabia. So welcome to Age.
Thank
you.
So we actually met at Children's Kids Party, didn't we? A birthday party. That's where we met.
Yeah.
And I saw, and someone said she works at a clinic, she's a dermatologist, and then I saw your skin and I was like, right, I need to talk to this lady.
Okay.
I absolutely need to.
I can assure you this is a part of it, or a big part of it, it's a genetic part.
Yeah. But I'm just feeling quite intimidated because I feel like Dr. Maysa, you just wear all these hats and you're just obviously so skilled in so many different areas. So you were just saying to us before we started recording that you did a lot with the interior design here as well, and then you've obviously trained as a doctor in Canada and then chosen your specialty in dermatology. So why was that you decided, you know what, I want to specialize in dermatology rather than say another field?
Actually, it wasn't planned. Before I decided to be a dermatology, I was planning to be an ophthalmologist.
Okay.
I was so passionate about that, but in rotation during my internship, and I worked with the dermatology department, and was so inspiring for me because I like to use my visual memory more than my hands or surgical skills. So dermatology was one of the best department to inspire this skill in me.
Yeah.
If you want to be a good dermatology, you have to have a very good eyes to grab the beauty everywhere.
Yeah. Okay. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. It's that thing as well of exactly you say. So I've been here quite a long time, 6 years, and I'm sure you've known from being here obviously forever that it wasn't always this kind of positivity, and there was you know, an element of what we try and do is demystify the desert. That's like our tagline. So talking about what it's like here and kind of showing that every day, and honestly I had the best weekend this weekend, just enjoying the experience of being here and just the most warm, lovely, gorgeous people. So have you found that expats are a bit more open to being here now as well?
Yes, of course. Comparing before, if we want to compare to before, I feel like now the number of expats is growing because in Saudi Arabia, after Vision 2030, we have a lot of mega projects like Metro, like Al Murabba, and so many other projects. And other than that, us as Saudi now, we are preparing to host big events like the World Cup, the Expo. So the number of expats is growing, and I'm expecting they moving here with their family. Unfortunately, before 2023, there was a lack of proper exposure and awareness about Saudi Arabia, and we didn't have much focus showing the world what our country is like, and that led that the world has a very limited understanding about Saudi. I still remember when I was doing my training abroad, when they know that I'm from Saudi, they asked me, "Do you still using camels? Are you? Are you living?" And that was just 10 years ago. And they asked me, "Are you having a tent? Are you still living in tent?" Oh, some of them, they're very optimistic and they say, "Saudi is oil, you're very rich." But this is not true. Saudi is a very well developed country since long time. But because of thankfully, because of our leadership, King Salman and his Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, they made these changes, and now the world is seeing real Saudi Arabia and how we are advancing tourism, how we are hosting big events in sport, musical, and also educational. And I think the social media is playing a big role in showing the world how much our country is developed across all sectors: education, medicine, tourism, and beyond. That's why I'm very happy being here, showing the bright part of medicine in our country. So yeah, I love to be in your podcast because when we met at the party, you talk about the idea of your podcast, and it was very good for me because it gives a real and honest view about Saudi Arabia. So your program is not just propaganda. That's what I got from your episodes before. Your guys, you're living here, you're in contact with people, and you understand the culture here. So you give or share with people with a positive and negative challenges in Saudi Arabia. Which is the honesty is the most important thing to reach or to connect with people. That's why I love it.
Well, we've had this term that we use in our podcast a bit, which is Saudi-quisitive, because we find a lot of the people that are listening to us are Saudi-quisitive. They're inquisitive into what a life would be like here, what their day-to-day would look like. They've got, you know, very normal questions that maybe they're not going to get from social media about all the developments and stuff that are going on here. So we feel like our job on the podcast is to kind of fill those gaps that aren't there at the moment about what their life would look like if they came over here.
Exactly, yeah.
And one of the big questions, or one of the big, questions that we get in at the moment is, oh my goodness, the climate is quite dry here. You know, and they're not used to it, especially if you're coming from somewhere like Australia, which is quite humid. They come with skin problems they've perhaps never had before. What can people do that are coming here? What products can they bring, or what treatments can they do over here to treat their dry skin that they may inevitably?
Yeah, you're correct. I think Saudi Arabia is known for harsh climates. That's why we have a very scorching summer, and we have a very dry, cold winter. I'm not saying very cold because but comparing Europe, of course, it's not very cold. But part of the year we have a very nice spring-like weather. We're enjoying the pleasant warm weather. So I think for anyone who's not used to live in Saudi, it will be very challenging for him to survive with this dry weather. So my advice will be a general advice for how to deal your skin in a dry weather. My first advice is to moisturize your skin as much as you can. So I'm talking about not only the type of moisturizing cream and also the frequency. It should be more than 3 to 4 times per day if you want to make sure the skin is hydrated. Second, it's very good to focus in the exposed part of your body, like face, hand, feet, because those parts are more prone to dryness because of the external factor, the dry weather, and because also for the frequent washing and using of harsh soap or detergents. As I said, a type of moisturizing matters, but how often you are using or applying moisturizing is even more crucial and important than the type. Because some of my patients, they come with a very high quality of moisturizing cream, and they applying it only one time. And they keep asking me, we don't notice any difference. We don't notice that our skin is hydrated. So I keep insisting this point that the frequency of application is the one who's making difference in hydrating your skin. So this is regarding the moisturizing cream. If you want to talk about the shower, we shouldn't use a hot water, and this is a general advice. And the time of shower should be short. We don't want to expose our skin.
Don't tell me that, because I really do love a long shower.
Long shower, hot long shower. So this is our worst combination, yeah.
Is that because the water in Saudi specifically, or anywhere?
No, I don't think so. But because the hot water, it dissolves and it strips off the natural lipids that we have it in our skin. We're supposed to keep or maintain the moist in our skin. So when you use a hot water, your skin becomes drier. So instead of hot water, it's better Yeah, it's better to use warm water and a mild or gentle kind of cleansers and soap, because if you use a harsh one, like some people like to use like a Dettol or kind of Lifebuoy, the one with disinfectant, which is I don't prefer it because you will add more stress in your skin and you will irritate your skin more and your skin become drier. What else? I advise also like. Maybe you can use a humidifier at your room or home. Yeah, that's why I'm using it just in my kids' room because you know the heating system here makes the air drier. So when you use the humidifier, you just minimize the effect of the heating system. So it's better to use, especially for kids.
Yeah, that's actually a good segue because I was going to say, is this a false Frankie Guinness? But is kids' skin thinner than adult skin? Is that correct?
Yeah, 100% correct.
So
Yeah.
the effects on them, I guess, are going to be worse. I find coming back from, say, a holiday in Australia.
Yeah,
my
Mika, my daughter, she came back this trip from England and she had a rash all around her mouth.
She came out with it when she got
As
back.
soon as she got back
Yeah.
here. Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah, I think yes, you're correct because kids' skin is different than us. They have their lipids layer are less than us, so their skin is thinner, and the integrity of the skin is much weaker than us. So if you want to take care of your skin, of your kids' skin, you have to take extra step. As we say, the moisturizing cream, it should be very efficient. You have to apply 3-4 times per day. You have to use a humidifier, a short warm shower, and also you have to take care of the clothes. It's better to use cotton clothes rather than wool because wool can irritate and make your skin drier. And of course, choosing the moisturizing cream is very essential. I see a lot of kids or girls, let's say girls.
Do you have kids
Yeah.
come here to age clinic?
Yeah, we do have, and especially in winter, the number of visits getting much more than summer because of the eczema, flare-up of eczema, flare-up of skin irritation. They have skin irritation from the dryness. So it's a very good to deliver an advice to the mother to choose a proper moisturizing cream because some girls, especially the teenagers and age lower, they use a very fancy kind of moisturizing cream.
They're on their TikToks doing their skincare routines.
Yeah, I'm from the cosmetics shop, so
Anti-aging.
so I still remember one of the girls. She came to me and said, like, I'm moisturizing my skin. I said, can you see your moisturizing cream? And she got me a moisturizing cream with glitter colors. I say, this is not a moisturizing cream. If you want to use a proper one, you have to use it, especially for kids. One with no fragrance. With a minimal preservatives, no coloring, no other fancy things, glitter, and very basic, yeah, from a pharmacy, not from cosmetic shop, because the regulation of creams from a medical one is different from the one from cosmetics. The rule and restrictions is more in the medical one rather than the one from cosmetics.
Yeah.
And I feel like the pharmacies here are so amazing in
Oh, I'll
Saudi.
tell you what, Frankie, every time I go to the doctors, my husband's like, Lily, do not go through the pharmacy because I could be there forever looking at the different moisturizers,
So much
serums.
product.
But
I could be there
But do you use them or you just buy them?
I have a serious collection. I think I have a
But do you
problem.
use? Because one of the struggles that you buy, but you don't have time to use. So that's why my advice always is just to minimize your skincare because the simplest, the easiest to follow and to keep on. It's much important for us to maintain your skin care rather than just to get excited for 1 and 2 weeks and then you're off.
So what's that? So that's a cleanse, a tone, a serum, a moisture.
I
See,
think
I'm already.
I think
Yeah.
tones are like they were out in the 90s.
Oh, I
and now
still
it's-
do toner. So I'm a 10-part skincare routine kind of girl. Like my husband's like, what? Can you just come to bed? I'm like, I'm sorry, but I've still got
2
5
hours
steps
later.
to go.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah. So what's the like essential steps?
Yeah, my advice to minimize because at the end, those products they are chemicals, and when you read the ingredients, there are a lot of chemicals, there are a lot of preservatives, and the more you use, the more stress on your skin will have. So all those chemicals can create free radicals in the skin, and the free radicals are the one who break down the collagen. So my advice is not to neglect your skin. No, take care of your skin, but with minimal products. So what's essential for us is to moisturize your skin if you need, especially on face, because some oily faces, they don't need to moisturize their skin as frequent as the one who has dry skin, because they are more prone to have acne if they use more moisturizing. So moisturize your skin, which is very essential. Apply retinols at night, because retinols are the only one who will stimulate your skin, your collagen in your skin. And of course, you can use a cleanser, but a very gentle kind of cleanser, not the harsh one. So this is the basics. If you want to go a further step, you can add antioxidant, whatever you like. I prefer to use vitamin C. Yeah, my best is vitamin C. But the toner, like so many layers of your skin, it's believe me, it's a stress, and it's it has a harming effect more than benefits.
Oh, there you go. This is why I love the podcast, because I learn something new every time.
Yeah.
But then also a sunscreen.
Yeah.
Because, and this could be false as well, but is it 80% of aging is consequence? Is that
Correct.
right?
Yes.
I
All
should
your
just be a
facts
dermatologist. Minus all the
Yeah.
education.
Yeah, actually, most of the aging is because of
Also Australians.
Oh, yes,
We're
you're used
taught
to the
this
sun,
from like
yeah.
the slip, slop, slap, slip
Yeah.
on a hat.
Slip, slop,
This
slap.
is an Australian motto.
Okay.
You taught it at primary school. Slip, slop, slap. So you, correct me if I'm wrong, but you slip on a top, slap on, slap on some sunscreen, slap on a hat.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
So it's a very nice one to teach the kids. It's easy to remember. Yeah, but I think the sunscreen is one of a major, sun exposure is one of a major factor that damage our skin, but there's another factors. Of course, our genes play a very big role. Second, maybe the stress. When you are stressed out, your body will secrete steroid and cortisone, and cortisone can break down your collagen. Third, like bad lifestyling, no exercise, bad habit of unhealthy food. So all of this can affect, but the sun plays a very major role, especially in fair skinned people. Yeah, us like for our skin type, yeah, and the effect of sun, it's there. I'm not saying it's safe to go with no sunscreen, but our melanin is protecting us. It's when you compare it with someone who's having light skin, the damage will be much more than us as skin type 3.
Well, that's kind of, I guess that's leads to the next question is your clientele might be changing here, I guess, from purely Saudi to a lot of expats coming in.
And actually, you say that, a lot of expats we know, obviously, in the compounds, they don't really know where to go.
Yeah,
because
true.
they've just moved here, or they don't know, like,
overwhelmed.
there's a lot of places. So actually, I feel like that will even get more and more as time goes on. You'll have more and more expats coming through, but obviously the skin types and the skin issues are going to be very different.
Yeah.
So what are the kind of leading skincare problems that you kind of face here at the moment?
Actually, it's like everywhere. In Saudi, we have, if we are talking about locals, we have like a certain type of problems. We're facing here pigmentation more than sunburn. We're facing here more of acne. We're facing aging, anti-aging consultations. So if you ask me what's the number one cosmetic procedure we're doing here, I don't have exact statistic, but I can, from my observation as a dermatologist, I feel Botox is number one. Botulinum toxin, injection of botulinum toxin is number one. And I think Botox has earned this strong and global reputation because it's very effective, and it's a fast and it's a safe procedure. And nowadays it's a bit quite rare to find someone who hasn't tried it or considered it at least.
I have to say, as like an observation, I don't know if it's just Saudi or globally, faces are changing a lot. Like there's a lot of filler, there's a lot of like quite terrifying. I call them tweakments, which you laughed at me earlier, but tweakments is like it's like a small, I just kind of like the subtle.
Yes.
I'm not here for like the really dramatic changes. So as as a dermatologist, do you try and maintain that as well, to kind of say, will you say no to someone?
As a dermatologist, I have been noticed that before, like let's say 6-7 years ago, when there's like a new invention of Botox filler, most of the people they overuse it or abuse it, and most of the people who had like injection, they had it in non-proper way, in a very fake way, and what are we notice now that people try now to go back to the natural face. They don't want to have a lot of Botox. They want to be very close to their natural looking. Yes. But at the same time, I'm not saying don't do those procedures. It's essential because it's a safe things that you can prevent your face from aging. So I'm not against doing that, but I'm against like don't do it in not correct way or in a very request or your things that you want to do, because sometimes when you overcorrect the things, it will not give you a beautification. Rather than you will look ugly. You will not look normal.
I've got a daughter, and you've got daughters, and it's quite scary to think like what they'll try and do to their faces as a mother. It's quite like terrifying, quite honestly. But I feel like knowing, because here obviously you're a doctor, you're trained, so you're not going to let someone completely change their identity, their look.
Yes, definitely.
And it's the same in England. I think you have to get a doctor prescription. Is it the same in Australia? So at least there is an element of kind of
cowboys doing it everywhere.
So I just want to reassure you, as I'm a professional from a medical field, that in Saudi Arabia we have a very strict regulation and oversight about to ensure a safe and high quality of healthcare. So if I want to elaborate more in a simple way about our regulation, you have to know here in Saudi Arabia all cosmetic procedure licensed from Ministry of Health, and only qualified and licensed doctors like dermatologists or plastic surgery are allowed to perform it. And our license is like updated and issued from the Saudi Commission of Health. So this is if
so reassuring because people are hesitant to do procedures here, I think, not knowing too much about what's required on the back end certification. So that is really reassuring.
So that if we want to talk about the aspect of the doctors, we not allow beauticianists or like nurses to do it. We are allow only doctors or unqualified doctor, like not a gynecologist, to do like a face treatment. Like we have some certain specialty like plastic, dermatology, and maybe ENT, on and off. If we want to talk about the clinics and hospital, we have the clinic and hospital must follow a very strict standard of care from the hygiene, equipment, and operation. With regular inspection from the Ministry of Health. Like you can't open your clinic without a registration in Ministry of Health. You can't do your job without frequent visits from the Ministry of Health. And if we want to talk about the third aspect, the injectables, the material we're using here, we must use material or injectables or anything that FDA, I mean Saudi FDA approved. So you can't use anything that you want. You can't request something and you use it without approval of Saudi FDA. And I think in Saudi, it's well known that we have the biggest aesthetic market here because of the number of population here, and because maybe we considered a bit wealthy country. So and additional to that in Saudi we are following international regulation. We don't do like things without guidelines or without recommendation. And we are dealing with a global cosmetic companies, so that will increase the yield of safety and
So just out of curiosity, I'm sure you know from obviously, experiencing this all around the world, what's the price point like in comparison? Like, is it, because you're saying obviously it's so well managed, but is it still the same kind of price to get it done here or to go to London, or?
For pricing, I can't comment because I think things is changing by time, and I don't have any idea, but I think it's almost the same. What I heard from my friends or colleagues who's working abroad, or a patient who's coming to us, and that the pricing here in Saudi Arabia is almost like any other country, like Europe, America, or Canada.
I know a lot of expats at the moment would go home to do it just because we know the person, we know the price, we know. So it's interesting. I think again there'll be a shift of people feeling.
It's just literally what we're saying at the beginning is this unknown. People aren't sure about it because they don't know about it, and they don't know about those, you know, restrictions or certifications that are required in order to do it here. So I think that would easily.
Yeah, but I have to mention, like at the end, all those restrictions, all those regulations are in place to ensure safety. But in the end, we are a human being. It's like any other job of worldwide. It's like any other part of the world. Doctors have some variation. We can vary in our skills. We can vary in our experience. We can vary in our area of interest. Some doctors, they are very good in those jobs, but they don't know how to. They don't like, or they're not very expert in injectables like filler, Botox. So my advice always to people who decide to get the cosmetic world, either in Saudi or any part of the world, like your health is your priority, don't compromise it. Yeah. And cosmetic procedure, don't take it lightly, because it's not like a salon to go and do a procedure. It's if you have a complication, you will have a serious consequences. Yeah. So don't take it lightly. Yeah.
Honestly, I saw this the other day in England. There's an Instagram, huge Instagram influencer in England, and half her face had dropped down from a bad procedure. And I just thought, my goodness, that's so scary.
Yeah. For people thinks that Botox and filler, they can correct all sign of aging, which is not correct. Part of the aging is you can correct it by lifestyling, by exercise, by get enough sleeping hours. And Botox and filler can give you, like Botox actually, it just smoothens your wrinkles, but you have a very bad quality of skin, it will not add a lot of benefit. So taking care of your skin, don't expose to sun, applying sunscreen. If you have like spots, you can treat it. So shiny, glowing skin is better than having a fake frozen face.
And you do treat pigmentation here as well, don't you? So you've got what, lasers, or how do you prefer to treat?
It's based on the pigmentation. Like if the patient, actually pigmentation is a big issue in our country, because our skin type is more prone to pigmentation. So we have here a lot of cases with freckles, with melasma. So yeah, we're having many options. So if the patient comes with a very mild kind of melasma or freckles, we can just prescribe topical treatment like bleaching cream. And if we examine her and she has like deep or like combined kind of pigmentation, we can go further a step and use lasers. طبعا I prefer Fraxel laser is the best for a diffuse scan. Yeah. Fraxel is very good for collagen stimulation, and at the same time it treats the pigmentation. Yeah, but if the patient just have freckles, we can do that just Q-switch laser.
Your approach is come and see someone at the age clinic who's a doctor and just does a bespoke kind of treatment for you as a whole. Like depending on what your skin is, the doctor will say, hey, you don't even need laser.
Don't try and diagnose yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we're facing a lot like those cases. Patient come to us and asking for like, I'm feeling my face is tired. Can you inject filler under my eye for treatment? And you tell her like your main issue is not about your tear trough. If you treat your skin, if you treat your pimples, if you have a good quality of skin, I'm sure that we will forget about the your tear trough or like the hollows around your eye. So sometimes when you go step by step, you can reach like a point that your patient is very satisfied without doing very advanced or a lot of cosmetic procedure. Like I always tell to my patient to take care of your skin, treat your skin problem, like treat the pigmentation, treat the acne, treat the freckles if you need, and then you jump to the more advanced kind of
I
cosmetics.
feel
Yeah.
like that's social media though. Someone's seen someone get filler under their eyes on social media.
Yeah,
Like, that's
it's
what I
good.
need.
It's
Yeah.
it's good. I'm not saying it's not safe. It's good, but for certain kind of patient,
Yeah.
because those patient, if you inject under eye and she still has problem with her skin, she will not be satisfied at all. See, she will keep roaming around doctors asking for another procedure and another procedure. And if you treat something simple, you can achieve يعني a good result, and she will be happy without costing her a lot.
And do you find men come in a lot for skin?
It's a good question. It's good. Yeah. Actually, yes. We start to see a lot of men who seeking having a good quality of skin, treating pigmentation, doing a very simple kind of cosmetic procedure like Botox and very simple things. But it's not as, يعني if you compare it to female, it's not as female numbers. Because if you want to beautify a male, it's different than the female. Female, you want to smoothen the lines, you want to have a shining glow skin. But for the men, if you treat them with Botox and you take off all the wrinkles, it will not add it will not look nice on them. Like if you compare, if you see the
We're thinking of David Beckham here, aren't we?
yes,
You know,
exactly.
like that look.
And yeah, most of
He's just
Hollywood
aging so
actors,
well.
they have the wrinkles. It
Yeah.
means a lot. It adds a lot for them, like a more masculine effect. Yeah. So the beautification or the cosmetics procedure for men is totally different about women. For the women, you like to have like very thin, well-defined jaw. Men, they like it to have it very muscular with very wide kind of jaw. So it's different, but as you said, number of clients from men, they are increased regarding skincare type, how to take care of our skin, applying sunscreen, rather than doing advanced kind of cosmetic procedures.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking back to some of the questions we've had previously from people moving over here and they're new, and they're probably exposing themselves more to the sun than they should be. And a lot of the questions are around like mole checks and skin checks for cancers and things. Is that something you would do here, or do you suggest going to a hospital to get that done?
We're doing it here in our clinic, but it's better to go to a hospital because they have, let's say he has something positive, or we took a biopsy and it came something serious. They have more facilities to do it in hospital. Testing, skin biopsy, screening, and all of these things. Of course, we don't have imaging here like CT or imaging machines, so it's better if he has suspicion for a one lesion to go to hospital, so he will have proper examination and investigation to answer.
And again, that's another really good point about being how lucky we are as expats here, because obviously a lot of us have private healthcare, and being able to go, and I've had every mole checked honestly over and over because I'm just quite irrational about these things, but it's so fantastic here that we can go to the hospital, we can get everything checked, and we're so looked after here in comparison to England, where you'd be on a waiting list and you'd be waiting months for results.
And you don't need that. So what's next for the age clinic? Are we planning an expansion? Is there going to be these spotted around Riyadh?
Yeah, actually we're now focusing on the clinic because we just started 2 years back, and now we're planning to invest more in this clinic. But of course the future plan is to have more branches, but you can't expand if you're not working well in your primary branch. So yeah, we're planning to have like maybe other doctors like from other specialty like plastic, ENT, dentists.
Dental's a big one.
Yeah.
That is.
So
we get a lot of questions around dental.
Yeah, we do. And so if people would like to follow you, where can they find you on social media? Where's the best place to find you?
I have my own account on Instagram and TikTok. Which is I'm not a big fan of TikTok, but I think nowadays if you want to have like a proper experience in Saudi, you have to.
TikTok. I downloaded.
I'm not very good in Snapchat. I don't. Yes, I don't. Yeah, and then sometimes I'm really scared. Like my kids download something, a picture or something from my gallery. Yeah, from photo gallery. That's why I always keep it off unless I need it for something for work or something for the clinic. But definitely I like to use Instagram. I'm a big fan of Instagram, but TikTok and Snap, I do have account. The clinic is following it, but I'm not using it that frequent.
Amazing. Well, thanks so much.
Thank you.
I'm very happy having
Very
you in Age
insightful.
Clinic. Yeah, I'm welcome anytime.
So calming. I could stay here all day.
Yeah. I'm very happy. I'm very happy having you here and be part of your podcast. And I hope you enjoying your stay here in Saudi.